Hey. Hey guys. Let's see. Waiting to see who's coming on. Live stream, health. Okay, we're still on. Okay, good. So, I am coming on today to talk about coaching. I'm a real estate investor, but I found myself when I started teaching people about this becoming a real estate investing coach. In some circles, that has a horrible name, and that is for a pretty good reason. And I want to talk about the last couple weeks. I've been talking to a lot of people from my book. You know, they read my books. They're not from Bigger Pockets. They're not online. They are a reader first. You know, they're not searching the internet. And then they come across my book and they reach out for a strategy session. And this is what I've been hearing in the last 2 weeks. And it's so many people talking about it to me that I need to address it. And as you see from the title, it says Rich Dad, Poor Dad Coaching, Fortune Builders, Garbage. And if they have anything to say, they can come say it. But it looks like they are preying upon people in the community without delivering anything. And I just want to give perspective about what kind of coaching is out there and what you should be looking out for. So first of all, they get on my nerves. Now, $20,000, $40,000. Okay, you can have whatever your price tag is, but you better deliver on that product, right? So let's just start with that. So the last couple weeks, this is what I've been hearing on strategy session calls with people who read my book and didn't go to Bigger Pockets. I'm going to talk about Bigger Pockets and how they feel about coaching, and I think it's a bit ridiculous, especially for people in our community who need one-on-one help of some sort to be more successful and not put a lot of their money at risk unnecessarily, right? So that's a different subject I'll get to later. But what I've been hearing from people is that they get on these phone calls, they go to the fortune builders or whatever, they go to these seminars, and I'm hearing, yeah, we paid $20,000, but we didn't get anything from it. We can't get on the call with anyone. When we get on the call, it's only vague answers and they don't get specifics. I heard the things that they teach you don't work anymore. So you go home, you try to implement it and talk to real estate agents. Real estate agents don't want to talk to you. So whatever they taught you just isn't valid anymore. I'm hearing it was just too general, so I gave them $5,000, but all I learned is that rental property investing is cool, right? They don't learn the specifics of how to do the analysis, find a property, find a market, and any of that stuff. And so what is going on is that when you get these bigger corporations where their whole business is doing these seminars, you might learn something, but of course the big seminar is a place to upsell you to the bigger event. So I'm not mad at the 3-day seminars because from what I've heard, they're pretty informative. They give you a certain level of new ideas that you didn't know before that you can tell make a lot of sense, right? So I'm not mad at that. And those they charge anywhere from $100 to $1,500. So it's an investment you can make for, a 3-day seminar where they cater and they have to rent a space. Because you know what I mean? So those aren't bad in themselves. It's the upsell part that I am really upset with, especially the people I'm talking about. Now, let me go into Bigger Pockets. Now, Bigger Pockets thinks any coaching is horrible, which is silly because they have more than 400 people who contribute to their blog who all coach and teach real estate investing, right? So it's just really at odds. Now, I will also say that the people who come to me for the most part are first generation college. They're white collar professionals, but they still have debt. Like they have 15, 20,000 to work with, but they don't have 400,000 to work with, right? And so when you only have so much, working with a mentor can help you not lose money unnecessarily, not stress out, and it can be much easier. And it just tends that the people I work with tend to be, I don't want struggle. We already struggled. I struggled through college. I struggled through high school. I struggled through this. I struggled through my first job. And they're like, I don't want my story to be struggle. I want my story to be success, excelling, ease, beauty, and the beauty of making a great business. So when I do get people, they just don't have those really big pocketbooks, right? And so in that case, you need a one-on-one mentor. I have certain prices. I have things from $38 a month to $200 all the way up to, $2,000 for a 10-week group coaching package, right? So I definitely have something for all price range, and what is what I do with integrity, so that I know, regardless of what you are or where you at, I can meet you, right? And so that's what I do, and I'm going to get into that later. But what the point of that is that you can work with someone to help. And I know when I go on BP, they just do not want to pay anyone. And you also need to understand that the person saying they don't want to pay anyone might have more money than you. The person that says they don't need help, well, maybe they have $50,000 and it wasn't that hard for them to get. So that when they say they don't need help and they say they don't need coaching and that you can do it yourself, make sure you're talking apples and oranges. Make sure you're talking about, did they struggle as hard as you to come up with the money in the first place, or can they ask their mom and dad for a bailout loan and you can't? So be careful when you're talking to people who are like, you don't need any help with anything, because they might be coming from a place where they don't, because they have so many backup plans. They might have more privilege, more affluence than you. They have more money. And then in that case, maybe they don't, because they can lose $10,000, $15,000, and it's not as devastating as some of the people I work with where it took them a long time to get that money. And you got to respect that. So first of all, just understand they don't like it over there, but maybe it's just because losing money and struggle is something that they're okay with because they haven't had it their whole life. When I work with people, they tend to be like me, where they're like, I've done the struggle, now we want the ease of making a business that's profitable. And it's a completely different mindset because they've been there. They don't want that donut anymore. Okay, so we want what's new. So when someone says that, just keep in mind, where are they coming from that they say it's okay to like go into real estate investing on your own and make mistakes and struggle and lose money, and that's okay, you can bounce back, because maybe that's not your case. I work with a lot of people who are retiring. They don't have that bounce back, right? They have something they saved up their whole lives, and they just don't have the money to lose or spend. So always make sure you're talking apples and oranges, first of all. So they don't like it, but they were correct when you got to these bigger corporations. When you get to the Fortune Builders and then Merrill's, you just need to be cautious that they're not saying who they're targeting. At the end of the day, if you have a $20,000 to $40,000 customer, you're looking at what they call whales. You're looking at people who have $400,000 in their 401k or in their bank account. Not me, but there's people like that exist. But they're not going to tell you. They're not looking for your small fish money. They'll take your small fish money, but they're not going to tell you that this is for someone who's a lot more well off, where this is not a struggle. And so one of the tricks they use is that they go, hey, go home and ask your bank for a credit score, a credit limit increase. And then you go home and all your credit cards raise the limits and they double it. And so they're like, hey, this is $20,000. And you're like, well, they helped me come up with that limit. And they're really good at selling, right? Like if you ever want to be a good salesman, go or saleswoman, go to one of these real estate investing seminars. You're going to get that. But asking for a limited increase, cool. I mean, you take my one-on-one, you take my monthly membership, I'm going to do that. That's like number one. But the fact that they're saying $20,000, and this is what I have a problem with. Do they ask you what your credit score is? So they're like, yeah, I can help you with this and this and this and this. Do they vet you and make sure you're the right person to set up for that? If you try to do a strategy session with me, I do a detail sheet because I need to know if you have $2,000 or $20,000, right? Because I'm not going to tell you about my high-end program if you only have $2,000. My lower tier one can help prepare you to do it, but the fact is, do they ask about that? So if they're asking for $20,000, $40,000 to help you invest, which is closely tied to how much assets you have, your social capital, and is closely tied to your credit score, and they don't even ask for it, then you know you're in a money-making routine and it's not for you. And they're never going to say it's not for you. They'll take your money, but they're not going to vet you. So if they're not qualifying you, don't give them that money. I'm saying that straight up. And two, I just want to go into, it's a new day and age right now. Before, back in the day, all you had was a radio ad about the seminar. You went to the seminar. It was great. They traveled around the country. Maybe you didn't know anyone who did it because it's not like the internet where you can post this and do a keyword and the name comes up, right? So back in the day, it was hard to know about these $20,000, $40,000 programs and if you should be doing them. I'm telling you no, because of now. I've been doing this for 5 years. I just started going, hey, you can do this. Everyone's overlooking it. It's amazing. What are y'all doing? Especially for people like me who are not good employees, but we are great business owners, right? Because we have that leadership ability. We have that talent and skill. But, so this is what I started doing. I just went out there on YouTube and just started. And nowadays, though, I can throw a rock and hit somebody who's on YouTube, Bigger Pockets, REI Club, And nowadays, this is what you should do to vet someone. I'm saying do it with me before you work. But I demand, I command you to do this to everyone out there so that you know that you're getting the right coaching program for you. So as exciting as these things are, does someone in that Fortune Builder or Rich Dad Poor Dad, do they have a book? And if they have the book, you can read those books. Do they have something where you can go and view their videos, right? Did they put out some content to show that they know what they're talking about? Now you can go to their social media profiles. Are people dissing them on their social media? Or are people like, yeah, it's a cool person, nothing wrong, or something great, right? Because right now, if you wanted to do apartment syndication, there is what's his name? Joe Fairless from Bigger Pockets. I know Michael Blanks. They both have books. They both have videos. They both have articles. So if you wanted to go see if they're the person to coach with, you can talk to them first or see them first, email them, vet them, see if you like their energy, see if you like where they're coming from. Right? Some people come from me where they're like, hey, I was working class too. I got a little bit of money. Let's make it work. But I don't want to wait forever until I can do it. And other people are like, oh, I have a larger stack of money, or it's going to be easy for me to raise $500,000 for an apartment complex because I just have a lot of wealthy, more affluent friends than other people. Right? So you can get a feel for their energy and from their articles, from the videos. If they have a book, I have a book too, Investing in Rental Properties for Beginners. Thank you everyone who has read it and purchased it. You can go to Amazon and get it. Right now it's just in paperback and it's in what is it? Kindle, but I'm going to make the Audible in a couple weeks. Gotta get my voice ready, right? So read their books, right? There's this one guy, I've never met him, but his name is Phil Puzieski. If you put in real estate investing book, he is the first person to come up. I don't know from a hole in the wall, but I did watch a few of his videos. He knows what he's talking about. He's a very clear communicator and teacher. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying you go out and take his course. I think he does wholesaling or something like that. I'm not quite sure. But I'm saying is that I don't know him, but I can get to know him by the content he puts out. And so I just want you guys to demand that whoever you're going to pay money, especially if you get more than like a few $100s, you need to be able to see their stuff, vet them out properly, and do it. And I hope this message gets to, right now, if I'm talking to the people who know me through Bigger Pockets, they sort of are already scared of any type of big mentorship program. Like I said, you need to really understand if that's accurate for you or not, because I think I do mentorship all the time for everything. And it's a really big thing in our community if you don't have much money and you just want to get it right the first time. But if you know me from Bigger Pockets, you're pretty much not going to just give your money out to anybody. You're really going to have to feel them and understand. Great. Okay. I'm getting a lot of people from my book who are reading my book. They find it on Amazon outside of this, or through maybe the Budgetnista with Tiffany, because I've done some things with their Ask the Experts in their academy. And they're going through that race. So they don't have all that like beaten up on them to never, ever, ever pay someone coaching. So I'm talking to those people, and it seems as if these fortune builders and then Merrills and some Ron Legrand, all these other things are targeting them, getting them to get them $20,000 because apparently they do the sales presentation of a lifetime. I need to go just like watch it or something just to see how you can sell. And those people who aren't conditioned to be more cautious are definitely getting preyed upon in my mind. And the stories for them. So I'm going to put the keywords of all the ones who've been telling me that the information is not helpful. Either you call them and try to get information, they don't help you, or they can't help you, or, they said, hey, they're going to mentor you, and you call them, they're like, what's the deal numbers? And you're like, you're supposed to help me with that. They're like, no, we don't do that. And you're like, no, I paid $15,000 for you to do that. Right? And so what I want you guys to do is just be just very careful. And for those who aren't already conditioned, I want you to find this and go, hey, if they're asking me for $20,000, $40,000, I better know who they are, who I'm working with. If you work with me, I have in my contract as one-on-one client, which is on my higher level of support. It literally says email here, schedule calls as needed here. There is no third person you're talking to. And if it was, I would specifically say that in the contract. So if they're taking your money without specifically saying who you get to talk to, when you get to talk to them, if you don't know them because you haven't had a chance to either look at their YouTube videos, because that's free, folks, right? YouTube videos, if you haven't purchased their books, if you have not had a chance to read their articles, I'm saying at this point in this day and age, don't do it, because there's too many people out there that you can see their stuff, feel their energy, see if they align with your value system so that you want to recreate the model that they were able to create. before you do it. So I just want to get that public service announcement out. They're garbage. I'm going to put all, and if, someone from Fortune Builders want to come over here and talk to me about it, and maybe they're misunderstood, fine, they can, but I'll also open it up to everybody who's called me and told me this nonsense about them will also get a chance to come on and say, their side of the story as well. So, I'm not into just in coaching, but these really big programs are taking the money and they're not really explaining how you get the value out of it, right? And mentorship is just so important. I have 2 to 3 mentors every second of the day. It's from everything, right? So I really believe in it. It's why I've been able to excel just more rapidly than other people who want to do it on their own, but I'm naturally impatient, so I'm not going to sit here and wait for anything to tell me yes or no. I'm going to go get the help I can, maximize that, hurry up and accelerate the process so I can be the person that I want to be in my head and my goal. So I really do believe in it, but nowadays, take the time to be discerning, and that's what I wanted to say. I hope that all makes sense. That's just the feedback I'm getting the last 2 to 3 weeks. I keep getting more. The more I get, I'm going to post under here what I'm hearing. I wasn't against it until I just saw so many people paying off a $20,000 credit card bill and they got absolutely nothing out of it. I have a $500 course. I swear people have purchased 7 to 8 houses after that course, and that is what you should expect. Like, how many can I purchase after I'm done with this? Okay. So I'm gonna go right now. I hope that was helpful. You understand what I'm saying. If you have any comments and feedbacks, do it in the comment. What I'm giving you right now is just what I'm hearing. It is honest. It is truthful. If you have an opposing viewpoint, share it. You just shouldn't be spending that kind of money without a few properties, okay? That makes sense and work for you, where you're not over leveraged and it should feel good. Okay, so that is the message. So I'm going to go tag this. I'm going to let you guys go. Hey, Cashmatic. Oh, boy, answer. I'm about to buy back my dad's house he lost to rent out. Okay, well, let me know. If there's any questions that any of you guys have while I'm still on for 5 minutes, please feel free. Oh boy, answered. If you want to give me some more information, we could talk about that. I just had someone I talked to today whose dad passed away and they didn't have a will. And I swear to God, it seems like these governments will go and prey upon you. If you have fully paid off assets and no will, it seems like these government entities who do the probate, like it's a business for them to make money. So put that house, if it's fully paid off, in a trust, please, because this one woman had $13,000 in a back tax bill that randomly come up, and then they put $20,000 fees on top of that for $33,000. Now, to me, that sounds like it's a scam. They're preying upon people. That sounds like this is a business. Our city government makes money when you pass away and you don't have a will or an estate plan, and we get on it. So I'm definitely hearing those stories as well. So get those things in estate plan. I heard this morning, and I called my dad because I've been trying to get him. He's old school, so he doesn't have that mentality. He's like, I work for my money. It's my money. I'm not giving it away, right? So when you have that mentality, he's not into the generational wealth building. And I've been slowly trying to work on him, but my dad's stubborn. And I think I finally got through to him today. Like, look, this is a business. If you don't have an estate plan, they will take your property. He's like, yeah, it's fully paid off. I was like, exactly. They know you can sell it and make money off of it. It is like, to me, it just seems like a game to like they know, like, oh, let me see. And in the Black community, we have a lot of issues where our mindsets, because we were taken from slavery, we don't necessarily have the same mindset we had when we went over to our country, where you built wealth, you built your homes, you built your land. And so it's slowly starting to come back with my generation. No, you want to keep that, and they don't deserve it. And even if they do probate, they charge really high fees. This is a business for them to take your money. And FYI, that same person, they had 10 houses, and then they had to sell 8 of them, plus they hit them with another $35,000. Now, to me, that just sounds like this is a scam, to be honest, that they prey upon people. So put it in an estate plan, please. Please, please, please. Hey, Amber, you love me? Sending love back. I'm all in and learning from you. Good. Oh boy, he had a reverse mortgage. Now, those shady people, I hear a lot of stories, so you're going to hear stories right now. Those shady people. So this is what was happening with the reverse mortgage, if you don't know. With the reverse mortgage, you'd have a husband and wife, and they'd tell one of the husbands, hey, let's do the reverse mortgage. And then I forget there's a clause in which you have to start paying back more and more money. And what they would do, and they'd get a bigger bonus, the loan officers, if the person did not put their spouse on the mortgage, they got a bigger bonus. And so what happened, if that person passed away, the spouse thought that they were going to get the property and just keep taking the payments, but they weren't on the mortgage. So then it was like the due on sale clause because they weren't part of it. So those reverse mortgages, make sure both people are on the mortgage so that it passes in succession. Make sure they don't have kids who want the property. So reverse mortgage, it wasn't, you got to watch it, right? So they were getting paid to not put the spouse on. And, so to me, that makes me just go, if you're, okay, so say you have a husband and a wife and your grandparents, they pass away, and then you're not on it, does that mean the bank get the house? It does. And so in that case, wow, I'd really just prefer they get the equity, go out banging. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know, just be careful, be cautious. Those are some of the tricks that they play. Any other questions before I jump off? And these, I just hear a lot of stories. People talk to me, so I think it's just time for these stories to start coming out so we can protect ourselves better. And I just hate the way these city governments are literally like making money off of people's death. Like, it is a game to them, and they know as soon as you don't have an estate plan, they're going to get you. I called my dad after this third call today, and I was like, you've got to do it. I told him they're preying on you, and he went and did it, so it's good. Any other questions? No? Okay, for everybody out there, you can get a copy of the book, Investing in Rental Properties for Beginners. I lay out 5 years of me coaching people from all over the country how to successfully and happily and stress-free, so happily and successfully build their rental property portfolios either locally or out of state. Most of my clients are in New York, Texas, California. It's all in there. They're all happy. They're all in my sub 30K mastermind group if you want to talk to them. So you can get the book. It's $4.99 if you go to Amazon.com for the Kindle. Just put Investing in Rental Properties for Beginners or put Lisa Phillips. I think I might come up just on Lisa Phillips search. And then two, if you want a free copy of the book, you can get it below. You just pay shipping, and it gives you a 30-day free trial, free to my Investing Made Easy Monthly, which I love. And about 80% of the people who go to Investing Made Easy Monthly stay in it because it's good, and they're not getting this information anywhere else. And I was blessed to be able to pull together some of the most amazing people to come display with you. All right, so I hope this was helpful. If not, you can watch the replay. Thank you.